There are two human beings in the bathroom with you every morning. There's you, and there's a human being in the mirror, your soul, your spirit, and she needs you.
Gabrielle Bernstein, a role model for spiritual seekers.
I must have been a sophomore in high school, and I was on the varsity tennis team. And I remember the upperclassmen having a sleepover, and there were a bunch of us who were sophomores, and I was the one sophomore who was not invited. And it just kind of hit that button and that neuropathway programming that was literally like you've done something wrong.
Totally.
And I feel like for a long time, that is the reality that I have allowed myself to live in. And when you tell yourself that kind of story, as you talk about all the time in your work, it starts to create its own reality. And giving yourself permission to believe that you are not only worthy, but that you also deserve to be loved and to be supported and to be yourself, your full self. And the high five habit, I am not kidding, practicing this for more than a year now, every morning, starting by staring at the woman I see in the mirror, being with her for a minute, asking myself, what does she need from me? And then sealing it with this high five before I walk into my day. It has literally silenced that critic. Like, there are moments that I feel my humanity. There are moments like this that I feel like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? Are all these people like you really showing up? Is the world showing up? Are people really getting this as the messages are rolling in from people around the world about the impact of this thing?
Right.
And so I have moments where I'm overwhelmed, but after a year of doing this, I actually don't even have to anymore.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you don't even feel, it's sort of ingrained.
It's ingrained. When I
that.
see myself in the mirror, it doesn't even occur to me
Right.
to criticize myself.
Right.
Because I don't even see a face or a body. I see a soul.
Beautiful. So the habit,
Yeah.
it's looking in the mirror and you're saying, what do you need right now?
Well, the habit's like even cooler than that because you don't even have to say anything. So the reason why this works, and I want you to do it after you brush your teeth every morning.
Okay.
And so you're going to go into the bathroom and you're going to, be brushing your teeth. And there is this disgusting, ugly habit that everybody has that I want to kick the door wide open on. And it is a habit of either ignoring the human being that you see in the mirror. Yep. 91% of women don't like how they look. 50% of human beings are uncomfortable looking at themselves in the mirror. Yeah. And so ignoring yourself is a habit of self-rejection.
Okay.
The other thing that you may be doing is you stand in front of the mirror and you pick apart the things that you need to fix or that you don't like or that you want to change. And it's a habit. You don't even realize you're doing it. That's how this actually began for me. It was an extraordinarily low moment in April of 2020, and I woke up and just felt this weight of the world on my shoulders with every speech that had canceled because of the pandemic and the dream job, getting fired from basically my dream job and feeling like, are you fucking kidding me? I have to fucking reinvent my life again? This is how my story goes. I claw our way out of $1 million in debt after my husband's, restaurant business doesn't work. I fight tooth and nail for everything. I reinvent myself. I put what? I'm losing it all again? How am I going to pay my employees? How am I going to get my daughters whose college experience just imploded through this? And they're having anxiety and anger, and I can't handle this. I'm not ready. That's the state I was in.
Right.
So I get out of bed, I drag myself to the bathroom, I catch a glimpse in the mirror, and Gabby, the first thing I thought was, oh my God, you look like hell. And I started picking apart the dark circles and the saggy neck and everything I didn't like. And then, of course, once you go there, your mind immediately stays negative. And so now I'm like, why did you get up so late? And you got a Zoom call in 8 minutes and you haven't walked the dog yet. And I'm like, boom, boom, boom. And that's how almost everybody starts their day. by pile driving themselves into the ground.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so what's interesting about that moment is if you had walked into the bathroom, I would have been able to say, Gabby, I know, listen, this is terrible. You're right. You don't deserve this. You don't. It's not fair. But if anybody can handle this, it's you.
Mm.
I would have been able to lift you up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in that moment, I couldn't think of a thing to say, Gabby.
Right.
And the other thing is, I wouldn't have believed it because from a vibrational standpoint, you talk about energy all the time. My energy was in the toilet.
Mm.
So words of affirmation, a pep talk ain't working.
Of course. Yeah.
I don't know what came over me, but for whatever reason, standing there in my underwear, I just raised my hand to the woman in the mirror because it looked like she needed a high five.
Yeah.
And that first morning, it wasn't like, the heavens opened and the angels sang. It wasn't like a, oh my God moment, but there was something that shifted. It was weird. Like I felt this like energy shift.
Yep.
And my mind kind of shut off for a minute. And then I cracked a smile and laugh because it is so cheesy, the idea that you're going to actually stand in your bathroom and high five. I mean, come on, seriously?
Nothing's cheesy for me, but yeah, okay.
But, I mean, still, we're sitting, and so I go on with my day. But it was the second morning where the spiritual, divine nature of this cracked wide open.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So I woke up that second morning, same overwhelm, same lack of energy, feeling defeated by life. I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get out of bed. I make my bed so I don't crawl back into it. I start walking to the bathroom and I realized I was feeling something that I had never experienced in my entire adult life. And it was this. When you are about to go into a cafe and you're going to have a cup of tea with a friend that you just love?
Yeah.
What do you feel?
You're so excited. It's so fun. I mean, I feel that so deeply right now because I've been missing my friends so much. Yep. It's so thrilling.
Yeah. I felt that about seeing myself.
That's gorgeous. I love that you just said that. Nice.
I've never experienced looking forward or feeling excited about seeing the human being, Mel Robbins. I've looked forward to seeing my outfit or my haircut or a new color of eyeshadow. But seeing the human being? Never. So as I round the corner and walk into the bathroom and I start brushing my teeth, the kind of profound nature of what was unfolding hit me. And I realized something I've never realized before. There are 2 human beings in the bathroom with you every morning. There's you, and there's a human being in the mirror. Your soul, your spirit. And she needs you. She is trying really hard. And she's doing her best. And she has been waiting for you to wake the hell up and see her. And stop criticizing her. And stop focusing on what's going wrong. And start reminding her of all the things that are going right. To have her back. To cheer for her. And I put my toothbrush down. And I had just the day before read this piece of research because I was scrambling to figure out how the hell am I going to keep my team motivated through this, right? Yeah. And I stumbled upon this new research that came out of Harvard that says that if you spend less than a minute in the morning as a leader, just reflecting on how you're going to show up today at work, it changes your focus, your level of productivity. It changes how you show up. It changes the impact that you can make. And since I had just read it, for whatever reason in my mind, something clicked and I thought, well, why don't I actually apply that to myself? And so I asked myself this question that I'd never asked myself before, which is, who do I need to be for her today? And I thought, you need to be more optimistic. You need to be kinder. You need to laugh a little bit more today. And as I raised my hand, I realized I was like making a promise and sealing it with this high five.
Right.
And that's how it all began. And so back to your question about how you do it, it's very simple. I want you to do it right after you brush your teeth. And there's a couple reasons for this. Number one, when we stack a new habit, as you talk about too, it's easier for your brain to pair a new habit with an old one.
Right.
Second reason why is because this is a moment based on research before you leave your bathroom in this morning ritual that is one of your greatest chances to be able to focus at any point in the day.
Cool.
And so I want you to use it for yourself.
Cool.
And it's a way to put yourself first. The third reason why I want you to do it then is because it makes sense. You've just brushed all the crap out of your mouth so you don't spread nasty breath on everybody. Let's just brush all the crap out of your mind, body, and spirit, right? So you're not bringing that into your day. And so you're going to experience a couple things when you do this the first time. Number one, it will absolutely feel weird because right now you do the opposite of a high five. You criticize or ignore yourself. And so, just like I write with my right hand, if I suddenly have to write with my left, it feels weird. So expect it to feel weird. That's okay. You're going to do it anyway. The second thing I want you to realize is there's only two reactions to this. Only two. It's either wildly positive and you're going to laugh out loud because it feels kind of cheesy, but you are laughing for a physiological reason, and I'll explain that in a minute. Or you're going to burst into tears in a very positive way. And that is a sign of a massive emotional release.
Yeah.
Because it feels so good. It's like having a spiritual awakening.
Returning to yourself.
Correct. But the more likely, although I don't know that this is going to be true for your audience, but the more likely reaction, and this is the more common one, is that you will resist this profoundly.
Oh, yeah.
And the resistance is so sad because what the resistance is the resistance is a lifetime of self-judgment and self-rejection. See, every morning when you're standing in the bathroom with this person in the mirror, you drag your entire past in the bathroom with you. And if you have experienced trauma or abuse or neglect or abandonment or tremendous pain or anything that's been done to you, too many of you look at that and you think it's evidence that proves that you're damaged or unworthy or any of that stuff. And so you see a human being in a mirror that doesn't deserve a high five because of those things.
You think you're a piece of shit. That was my trauma storyline for decades.
Yeah. And so if you think you're a piece of shit, why on earth would you raise your hand and high five that person?
But also, how could you even relate to that person? Because you've become so disassociated from that person.
Yes.
Right.
And, this aligns with everything you say. If you can drag yourself into a bathroom in spite of all that stuff that you've survived, and you're still breathing and you're still trying to do a little bit better, you not only deserve a high five, you need one to heal.
Right.
And one of the reasons why the high five works, and you don't have to say a fucking thing. You can stand there and say, and think I'm a piece of shit. And you can stand there and feel the resistance to this. As you start to raise your hand, the science takes over and does all the work for you. And here's what happens. So when you give somebody a high five, Gabby, or you've received one, what does the gesture itself communicate to you?
Connection.
Yeah. Connection. It can say, I believe in you, joy, I celebrate you, I love you, I see you, keep going, you got this. It is literally a way to tell another human being that you have their back, that you believe in them, that you're encouraging them. You have never high-fived somebody in your life and thought, I hate you, I hope you lose, I'm rooting against you. And so when you go to raise your hand to your own reflection, even if you think you're a piece of shit, your mind goes quiet. And all of the programming associated with high-fiving other people gets married to your own reflection.
Yeah.
Through the physical action of high-fiving yourself, you are interrupting old patterns of identity and thinking and reprogramming all the new ones based on what a high five means.
This is actually one of the things I love most about you as a teacher is how simple you make things. And that's actually one of the reasons why I love the 12 steps. It's like, keep it simple, stupid. And there's that concept in AA of act as if. Yeah. Act as if. That sometimes if you just show up and act as if, that can start to reprogram your thinking. And that's enough for today. If you like this video and you want to get more Gabby, check out the next one right over here.